Hello, good morning, students. Today we are discussing the next chapter, the one of the new fresh chapter, that is chapter number 1, solid state. Solid state, right? After the solid state, we will discuss the electrochemistry, students. After the solid state, we will discuss electrochemistry. So this is we consider that this is the next new chapter. So this new chapter, this is the lecture number 1. Lecture number 1 for new chapter. Okay. So let's say, students, matter exists in three state, that is solid, liquid and gaseous state. Matter which are exist in a three different state, solid, liquid and gaseous state. Yes, students. These three different states exist because of why matters exist in three different states, because the thermal energy and intermolecular force of attractions are responsible for matters must be exist in three different state, that is solid, liquid and gaseous state. So due to the thermal energy and intermolecular force of attraction, the matter exists in solid state, matter exists in liquid state, matter exists in gaseous state. Due to the deficiency of thermal energy or strong interaction of them, or weak interaction, high thermal energy, due to this reason they are exist in three different state. Let's see. Okay. Intermolecular force of attraction. What is the role of intermolecular force of attraction? Intermolecular force of attraction, which is attraction, keeps the particle closer. Intermolecular force of attraction keeps the particle closer. What is the role of intermolecular attraction, students? When the particles are there, the intermolecular force of attraction, either atoms, ions or molecules, the particles are attract with each other, and after attraction the particles are come close to each other in this form. So the keeps the particle closer, the attractions. For example, magnets are attracted, ions are attracted, two oppositely charged ions, positive and negative ions are attracted. So due to the attraction, particles are come close to each other. Right, students? And let's see what is the role of thermal energy. Thermal energy keeps apart by making them move faster. Thermal energy keeps apart and making move faster. Whatever thermal energy is there, the thing that this is the one molecules between them, A and B molecules. This is the A and B molecule. This A and B molecule, between them, if you apply the thermal energy, if you apply heat or thermal energy you may apply here, then what happen? The particles are move far apart from each other. They are move far apart from each other like this, right? So thermal energy, which is keeps the particles away from each other, and intermolecular force of attraction keeps the particles closer. Right, students? In case of solid state, intermolecular force of attraction, thermal energy is low. In case of attraction, thermal energy is very low, and intermolecular force being them closer. So thermal energy is very low if thermal energy and intermolecular force of attractions are inverse form. It means the thermal energy decreases, then intermolecular force of attractions are increases. Thermal energy decrease, intermolecular force of attractions are increases. So that's why in case of solid state, thermal energy is very low. Intermolecular force bring them so closer. Intermolecular force of attraction bring them mean the molecules bring them molecules or bring them particles. Bring them particles so closer and cling to one another. Cling means just joined or bond with one another's and occupy fixed positions. Occupy the fixed position. Right, students? Like this, the particles are come close to each other. Means here the thermal energy less and intermolecular attraction is high. Thermal energy decreases, intermolecular force of attraction is increases. This is about the in case of solid state, students. Right, students? Okay. So due to the intermolecular force of attraction in solid state, due to the intermolecular force of attraction, particles are come close to each other. Like this, one example I shown you here. This is the circles are mentioned. The four circles. Four circle means the four particles are come close to each other due to the strong intermolecular force of attraction and weak thermal energy or low thermal energy. Understood, students? Okay. Characteristics and properties of solid state. Next is the characteristics and properties of solid state. The solid particle have a definite mass, volume and shape. They have a definite mass. Why the definite mass? Because particles are present. The particles are there. The particle means either atoms, ions or molecules are there. If atoms are there, the atoms definitely have the atomic mass. Molecules are there. Molecules have a atomic mass. Ions are there. Ions have their mass. So due to the atoms, ions or molecules, their atomic mass is present in the atoms. So that's why they have a definite mass and definite mass, volume. Definite mass and volume. Why the solid have a definite volume? Definite volume because the particles have a particles. What are the atoms, ions or molecule? Particles have a fixed position they occupy. Due to occupying the fixed number of molecules, occupying the fixed position, so that's why they are having the definite volumes. The each particles are occupying the fixed position. Each particle occupying the fixed position, so have a definite volume. So if the particles are occupying the definite volume, definite space they occupied, after occupying definite space, they give definite shape like square, cube, cylindrical, triangle, etc. So fixed particles are present here due to the fixed particles present in the substance. So that's why they have a fixed position. Due to the fixed position of the particles, they give the fixed shape like square planar, cubic form, cylindrical form, trigonal form, etc. Right, students? Second point, intermolecular distance are short. So what are the intermolecular distance are there? The intermolecular distance are short because already we know that the solid state in which intermolecular force of attraction is higher than thermal energy. Intermolecular force of attraction higher than thermal energy. That's why the whatever the particles are there, particle between them distance is very small. The particle between them distance is very small here. Distance is very small. Distance is very short because the strong intermolecular force of attraction. If particle between them increase the strong intermolecular force. If particle between them A and B, particle between them attraction increases. Particles are come close to each other. If they are come close to each other means the distance between them decreases. That is short intermolecular distance. Right, friends? Okay, third point, intermolecular force are strong. Already we know that why intermolecular force is strong, because intermolecular force of attraction is strong because low thermal energy. If thermal energy is low means intermolecular force of attractions. Look at here, students. Intermolecular force is inversely proportional to thermal energy. Inversely proportional to thermal energy. Can I write here E, students? Okay. So intermolecular force is inversely proportional to thermal energy. Intermolecular force of attraction increases, thermal energy decreases. Thermal energy decreases. If thermal energy decreases, then intermolecular distance are short. Right, students? Understood, students? Okay. Next, the fourth one, constant particles. In this chapter, we are just using the word every time the words are repeated, constituent particles. So what is the meaning of constituent particles? Constituent particle means the solid substance in which either atom may be present, or ion may be present, or molecules are present. That is we called as the intermolecular distance. Students, the constituent particles, solid in which whatever the particles are there, maybe atoms, maybe ions, or maybe molecules. So if solid in which atoms are there, atom may be present, that is we call constituent particles. If solid in which ions are there, that is we call constituent particles. If solid in which molecules are there, that is we called as constituent particles. Constituent particles have a fixed position, and ions only oscillate about their main position. Constituent particles, atoms, ions, or molecule have a fixed position, and ions only oscillate about their main position. Whatever the constant particles are there, the ions are present at the fixed positions. They are occupying the fixed position like this. Fixed positions. When they occupy in the fixed position, the particles are just vibrate in their main position. They are started to be vibrate. They are vibrating. The particles are just vibrating. They cannot hold the moment like liquid or gas. They just vibrate in their main position. In their respective position, they are started to be vibrated. That is we called as oscillate about their main positions. Right, students? They are incompressible and rigid. Whatever solid particles are they using, if you are using the solid substances, the solid substance in which you are apply the force, you may apply the force from both sides. If you apply the force on both sides, it cannot be compressed. Because it is a hard and rigid. Right, students? It is incompressible. Why it is incompressible? Because whatever the particles are present here, the particles are strong internuclear distance. Strong, or you may say short internuclear distance. Because of strong intermolecular force of attraction. That's why the particle considered as a rigid in nature. Why it is rigid? Because solid in which whatever the particles are present, these particles are the short internuclear distance. Due to the short internuclear distance, it is a rigid in shape, and cannot be compressed. For example, this pen, students, the plastic pen you may compress here, it cannot be compressed. It cannot be compressed because of the particles are strong, have a very close to each other and strong internuclear distance. Right, students? Okay. Next, students, classification of solid. Classification of solid. The nature. Classification of solid based on the nature, student. Based on nature. The solid substances are classified as two types: crystalline solid, amorphous solid. Solid substance classified as a two types: crystalline solid and amorphous solid. First one, crystalline solid. So what is mean of crystalline solid? Crystalline solid means a solid in which constituent particles are arranged regularly or systematically. Constant particles are arranged regularly or systematically, called as crystalline solid. Whatever the constituent particles are arranged, constituent particles are arranged regularly or systematically. Regularly, systematically means constituent particles are lying side by side systematically and one above the other systematically, one above the other, lying side by side and one above the other. So this is we call as a crystalline solid. A solid in which constituent particles are arranged regularly or systematically. Regularly, systematically means particles are lying side by side, systematically side by side they are arranged, and one above the other, systematically one above the other like this and side by side. That is we call as crystalline. This is we called as crystalline solid. Right, students? Understood? Okay. And one more thing, second point, crystalline solid usually consists in a large number of small particles. Whatever this crystalline solid is there, this crystalline solid which consists the more number of constituent particles, a small size, it is very small crystals. But in the small crystals, more number of particles are present here. More number of particles are present. More number of particles are present. Right? So this is we called as a crystalline solid. This is we called as a crystalline solid. Usually consists large number. This is a large number of atoms. Large number of atoms or large number of ions or large number of molecules are present in the small crystals. Right. For example, you may use in our house we are using the small NaCl crystals, sugar crystal or salt crystal. That is very small salt crystal, but many number of the sodium ions and many number of chlorides are present in that small crystals. So the crystal is very small, but in that small crystal large number of ions or large number of atoms or large number of molecules are present. That is a solid or usually consist large number and small crystals. Right. Each of them having definite characteristics geometric shape. Already we discussed this point. Whatever the crystals are there, crystal particles in the small size and large number of large number of particles are present, and the solid state, crystalline solid, which always gives one of the fixed geometric shape. Characteristic means it gives fixed geometry. Geometric shape. It gives fixed geometric shape like square, cube, cylindrical, trigonal, hexagonal, etc. It gives fixed geometric shape. That is fixed geometric shape like this. So it have a definite characteristic geometric shape, right students? Okay. The crystalline arrangement, constant particles in a order. Constant particles are in a order form. They are present in order form, orderly, in order. In a crystalline solid or crystalline arrangement of constant particles in a order. It means the crystalline solid in which constant particles are arranged in this geometric structure. They are arranged in this crystalline structure. They are arranged in fixed shape. So here 4 particles are present here in orderly. The one atom, second atom, between them same distance exists. Second and third between them the fixed order and fixed distance exists. Second and third third and fourth between them fixed distance are arranged, and they are systematically arranged side by side, one above the other. That is the order. Or you may use the cube like structures. So in which the particles are present in the fixed positions in an order wise. 8 particles are arranged, fixed distance, fixed intermolecular space, fixed internuclear attraction. So all these things are order wise and they are arranged side by side, one above the other, fixed. They are arranged here. So this is one of the order of arrangement. Or you may say they are lying side by side and one above the other. This is the fixed order of arrangement. Right students, understood? Okay. It has a long range order, which means that the regular pattern of arrangement particle which repeat itself periodically over the entire crystals. In this crystal, whatever in these crystals are there, in these crystals particles are repeated itself systematically and periodically. They are systematically and periodically. They are repeat itself regularly and repeat itself periodically over a entire crystals, full entire crystal. They arrange regularly. Right students? Example, NaCl, quartz, typical example of crystalline solids. NaCl crystal and quartz are the examples of crystalline solids. Right students? Crystalline solids have sharp melting point. Now these are the properties, students. The property of crystalline solid. Crystalline solid have a sharp melting point. Sharp melting point means whatever the crystalline solids are there, if crystalline solids are, you may use crystalline solids. For example, ice cube. Ice cube you are using here. Above ice cube you may keep the thermometer. Ice cube we are using. Ice cube above we are kept the thermometer, right? And ice cube started to be melt. The melting point of ice cube is 0 degree Celsius. When temperature reaches 0 degree Celsius, ice cube is going to be melt here. Ice cube is going to be melt, right? So this temperature 0 degree Celsius temperature could not be changed till small fraction of ice cube turns into liquid form. Till then the temperature cannot increase or decrease. So that is the sharp melting point. You may use ice cube above, in which you may keep the thermometer, and you keep the thermometer like this. This is ice cube. The ice cube in which you may keep the thermometer. When you keep the thermometer, ice cube started to melt at the temperature 0 degree Celsius. Right. Then ice cubes are going to be change their shapes, decrease their size like this. So during in which the temperature neither be increase nor decrease till the small fraction of ice cube turns into liquid form. Small fraction of ice cube turns into liquid form. Till then it remains in 0 degree Celsius. That is called sharp melting point. Sharp melting point. Either you may use NaCl crystals. I mentioned you the NaCl crystal instead of ice cube. If you use the NaCl, right friends? Then above below in which you may apply the heat. You may apply heat to burn this NaCl. NaCls are introduced into heat. Above in which you may keep the thermometer. Right. I don't know what is the melting point of NaCl. Just I am using here the general value. I am using here the value is x degree Celsius. Right. The NaCl melting point is x degree Celsius. When we are introduce the NaCl crystals, when we are introduce the heat to this NaCl crystals, the melting point of NaCl is x degree Celsius. The melting point cannot neither be decreased nor be increased. Melting point remains constant x degree Celsius till small fraction of NaCl turns into liquid form. Small fraction of NaCl turns into liquid form. The x degree Celsius चेंज नहीं होगा, तब तक चेंज नहीं होगा जब तक एक स्मॉल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ NaCl मेल्ट होकर लिक्विड में ट्रांसफर ना हो जाए, तब तक इसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट कांस्टेंट ही रहेगा. राइट स्टूडेंट्स, दैट इज शार्प मेल्टिंग पॉइंट. राइट स्टूडेंट्स, NaCl isotropic and isotropic nature. Anisotropic means different crystalline solids, different their property, called as anisotropic. Anisotropic means, I will write here, शॉर्टकट में लिख रहा हूँ स्टूडेंट्स. डिफरेंट क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड, different property. Different crystalline solid have a different property called as anisotropic nature. Right students, anisotropic nature. Understood? Okay. Let's see here. What is anisotropic? For example, I am using the NaCl crystal. I am using NaCl crystals, and I am using the one more gold. Gold is also belongs to crystalline solid. NaCl is also a crystalline solid. When I am passing electric current to this solid NaCl crystals, the solid NaCl crystals cannot allow the electric current because of there is no free ions or there is no free electrons. Due to that reason it cannot conduct the electricity, right? But this is also crystalline solid. In this crystalline solid, if you pass the electric current, which allow the electric current. Gold is a crystalline solid. Which allow the electric current in a solid form. NaCl is a crystalline solid which cannot allow the electric current in a crystal form. So that is called anisotropic nature. The different crystalline solid have a different property, different thermal property, different electrical property, different refractive indexes. So different crystalline solid, different electrical property, different thermal property, different thermal resistance, thermal refractive indexes are there. So that is we called as a anisotropic nature. Right students, understood? Different crystalline solid have a different property called as anisotropic nature. Solid particles outer edge sharp and inner edge is smooth. Whenever you may use the NaCl or any crystalline solid, a crystalline solids in which you may cut from this side, right? Before cutting, you may touch the outer edge. Outer edge is the sharp or hard. When you cut this, it turns into two holes, two pieces. Right? It turns into two pieces, right? So when you touch inner portion is smooth, but outer part is hard. Outer part is sharp, or you may say hard. Outer part is sharp, inner part is smooth. So because of the inner smooth, why inner is the smooth particle? Because the inner particles are regularly arranged, systematically arranged. That's why they cut systematically, evenly. They are dissociate, not heterolytically. They are dissociate homolytically. That's why the inner region is smooth here. Outer region is sharp here. The outer region sharp because what are the particles are present? The particles strongly cling with the next particles. Next particles, and that's why the outer region which having the sharp, their edges sharp. Outer region is sharp. Right, friends? I hope you understood the first lecture. Tomorrow we will discuss the amorphous solid, students. Right? Thank you.